Hello everyone, in this video I'm gonna discuss the staff build for World vs. World Power Scourge. This won't be a long video as I made already another video on the Scourge build, but not in this variant. It was without staff. Here with staff we run Spite instead of Curses, meaning we'll have less precision from this trait, less corrupts from this, less corrupts because we don't have the scepter, and that's it basically. Also we will run soul marks here because we will run stuff and the unblockable marks are really strong. So let's see it. On Spite we run the Spiteful Talisman because we run Focus and Axe, both of them. So we have lower recharge on the skills and we do more damage on the enemies with no boons, but it's really unlikely with enemies to be without boons. Then here we take Awaken the Pain, meaning if you see 5 stacks of might give 200 power instead of 150, as we can see on the wiki here. This trait will grant 40 power and 20 condition damage instead of 30 and 30. So it's a good boost, like 250 more power total and 250 less condition damage, but we don't need condition damage on a full power Scourge. And then we have Close to Death, which is the main reason for which I get the Spite trait line, since it boosts your damage by 20% more when you are hitting some foes who is below 50% health. So like let's say you drop your well on the enemy is like 70%, he loses some HP, he goes 50 or below, and your well or anything else deals 20% more damage to him, which is a huge boost. Like you see the enemy basically exploding. 20% more is really a lot. Then on Soul Reaping we take soul marks for the stuff unblockable, meaning Aegis and every block you can see in War vs. War which is full of blocks, they will all be useless. So soul barbs and Death Perception. The Scourge straight line is the same as the other build here. So that's it about the build. I will quickly explain the spells. Staff 2, I recommend this on single targets, of course, like people who are running away from the Zerg or who are behind because they can't catch up, they are crippled or chilled, so you focus them, or if the commander asks to focus the enemy leader, and so on, like also on downeds. Then we have the Unholy Fist, skill 3, a big AoE corrupt and big damage, your strongest spell on your axe. Soul Grasp is some damage and some siphon healing, but it's good for the big life force it gives. It has 2 stacks with 3 seconds cooldown from each other and 12 seconds cooldown for the total stack to recharge. Then Spinal Shiver, which is your main damage skill on focus, of course, because as you see is 2400 damage when enemy has 3 boons, and compared to these and let's say you have Fury, Might, you recently left Shroud or you are in Shroud, you have a lot of ferocity and many modifiers. If you hit a squishy class below 50% HP, you can really see 20k damage as a single number, 20k. On stuff, you need to hit your Putrid Mark, the skill 4, because it's your biggest damage skill on your stuff. Also transfers 3 conditions from you to enemies. Then the skill 3 is a bit less damage, but it's still decent. Applies chill and poison. The skill 2 is low cooldown, not much damage but really low cooldown, as you see. Auto attack is a projectile, can be reflected, mitigated by any water bubble, but it pierces, it deals some damage too. Big range, it's nice, and gives life force, of course. And then your staff 5, you should leave this for bubble when warrior does bubble, your warrior. So you can really, the enemy can't apply stability to themselves during the bubble. You do this, you fear them, and they die, hopefully. But the biggest damage is this. Like, you swap to staff, and you, during a fight, you used every spell on your staff, on your axe and focus. Then you swap staff, and the burst you need to apply is from this. And also I recommend to use this when the commander asks for Hammer 2 and Hammer 3 for Revenant, the big range skill which do huge burst damage. You can compare them with this, like big damage, and this is also unblockable, so you won't miss this. Also, if you are blinded, the Condi transfer will occur before the damage, so you will first transfer the blind and then you hit, so it can't miss, and it's big damage. I would recommend using it after you enter the Shroud, so you get the bonus from critical, ferocity, and the soul barbs. I already covered the wells, the utilities in my other video, but I will quickly do it here. Sand Flare is the healing skill, converts 1 wound from enemy to condition. Then Well of Suffering, your main damage skill in your utility. Trail of Anguish is really underrated skill, but it's a really huge damage also, and can corrupt, is a break stun, gives swiftness and stability to allies who pass on it, and to yourself. It's like a huge skill. Well of Corruption is another unblockable well, which corrupts. Then we have Ghastly Breach, which is another AoE, not unblockable, but still does big damage, like bigger damage than Well of Corruption, less damage than Well of Suffering, but converts every boon in Torment and Cripple, and also applies Slow and Burning, so it has everything basically. It's not even big cooldown, it's a big AoE around you, you can't target it, but as you see, you cast this on the enemy and they should crack. Then the gears are a bit different from the Curses version, because we have less precision, as I said before. This trait gave us 180, but with this we don't have them. So as you see, also we will lose some vitality, because we need to swap some gears. So from 24k we reach 22k. We have the Helm, Valkyrie, Marauder epaulets, and then we have Marauder chest, Valkyrie gloves, Marauder leggings, and the feet are Valkyrie, Rune of Scholar, of course. The weapons are all Berserker, Superior Sigil of Force, and Impact. Here you can also take Absorption for more corrupt, but I don't know if it's worth it, to be honest. Like, Impact is not a big damage, but 10% more on stunned damage on stunned enemies compared to Absorption, like 7 plus 3 is big. Also here we have less corrupts than the Scepter version and the Curses version. Like, we don't have the corrupt on the F2, and we don't have the corrupt from Scepter 3. So I don't know, maybe you will interrupt much less than the Curses version, so maybe you can't really benefit from the Absorption Sigil, but it's your choice. I chose this for me, because I like to be big damage when I run this build. If I need corrupts, I swap back to the other. Berserker weapons, Force, Impact, and here Force and Cruelty. Cruelty should be better than Bloodlust. I remember I did some months ago, and with these stats we have here, Cruelty should be a little more bit damage compared to Bloodlust Sigil. The trinkets, here is Berserker and Valkyrie on the backpack, but you can also go Berserker, you lose like 18 vitality, is 180 HP, and everything else is Berserker. With this build we can reach 100% critical chance with Shroud 80 plus 20 from Fury. We don't have Fury here, while we had here, because when we entered Shroud we get Fury, but here we don't have ourselves Fury. But you should have a Warrior with for Great Justice, or even the Revenant, hopefully. Like, you need a Revenant per party, in my opinion. Everything else is basically, the gameplay is you need to focus on your Axe 3, Staff 4, Staff 5 during bubbles, the wells of course after your F5, and this is the build. For the gameplay I have several videos on the gameplays, also where when I explain what I do in a bomb. I will link in the description. And this is it for today. Thank you for watching.